Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by mountains, lived a young girl named Maya. Maya was bright, talented, and full of potential, but she had one big problem. She constantly compared herself to others. Whether it was her classmates, her friends, or even people on the street, Maya always felt like everyone was doing better than her. Every time she saw someone excelling, whether in studies, sports, or even just in their social life, Maya couldn't help but feel like she wasn't enough. Why can't I be like them? She would often think. They're so confident, they're so successful, and here I am, still struggling. Despite her natural abilities, Maya often felt inadequate. She would second-guess herself, question her worth, and wonder if she would ever live up to the expectations she had set for herself. One evening, after seeing another classmate receive praise for an achievement, Maya walked home feeling heavy and defeated. As she sat under the big banyan tree near her house, her grandmother, Aji, noticed her troubled expression and sat beside her. "What's bothering you, my dear?" Aji asked gently. Maya sighed deeply. "Aji, I feel like I'm not enough. Every time I see someone do better than me, I start doubting myself. I keep comparing myself to others, and it makes me feel like I'm falling behind." Aji smiled softly, her eyes filled with wisdom. "Let me tell you a story, Maya, one that might help you understand the true power of focusing on your own journey." Aji began, "Once, there was a bird named Kavi. Kavi lived in a beautiful forest, surrounded by tall trees and flowing rivers. Every day, Kavi would fly around, enjoying the beauty of nature, but there was one thing that troubled him. He couldn't help but compare himself to the other birds. He would see the eagle soaring high in the sky, the peacock spreading its colorful feathers, and the nightingale singing beautiful melodies. Kavi felt small and insignificant compared to them. He often thought, why can't I be like the eagle or the peacock? Why am I not as special? Maya listened intently, her curiosity piqued. Aji continued, one day, Kavi decided to speak to the wise owl, who lived at the highest branch of a tree. The owl, known for his wisdom, listened to Kavi's worries. "I feel worthless," Kavi said. "I keep comparing myself to the other birds. I'm not as grand as the eagle or as beautiful as the peacock. What's the point of being just a small bird?" The owl, with his gentle eyes, smiled and said, "Kavi, every bird has its own unique purpose. The eagle may soar high, but it cannot sing the way you do. The peacock may have beautiful feathers, but it cannot fly like you. You see, Kavi, the true beauty lies in embracing who you are and focusing on your own journey. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you'll realize your own strength and your own worth." Maya's heart began to understand. Aji looked at her and said, "You see, Maya, the lesson is clear. When we stop comparing ourselves to others, we can finally focus on our own growth. The journey is not about being like someone else. It's about embracing our own path, our own pace, and our own strengths." The next day, Maya decided to put her grandmother's words into practice. She stopped looking at others with envy and instead focused on her own growth. Maya started setting her own goals, small, achievable ones that she could work on each day. Instead of comparing her progress to her classmates, she compared herself to who she was yesterday. She began to study with more focus, not to compete with others, but to become the best version of herself. She took up new hobbies, like painting, that gave her joy without worrying about whether others were better at it. With each small step, Maya began to feel more confident. She realized that the more she embraced her own journey, the more progress she made. Every time doubt crept in, Maya reminded herself that her journey was unique. She didn't need to be anyone else. She just needed to be the best version of herself. A few weeks passed, and Maya noticed a big change in herself. She felt lighter, more at peace, and more confident in her abilities. She was no longer consumed by the need to compare herself to others. One day, while sitting with her friends, one of them said, "Maya, you've changed. You're different now, more confident and happy. What's your secret?" Maya smiled and said, "The secret is simple. I stopped comparing myself to others. I realized that each of us has a unique journey, and I've started focusing on my own growth instead of looking at where others are. I'm not in competition with anyone but myself." Her friends listened intently, and Maya shared the story her grandmother had told her. She explained that true growth came from within and that we should celebrate our own progress instead of trying to match others. As months passed, Maya continued to focus on her own journey. Her grades improved, her friendships deepened, and she found joy in the process of learning and growing rather than in the final destination. She was no longer worried about what others were doing. She was proud of how far she had come. One day, while walking through the village, Maya saw a young boy sitting by the river, looking lost and defeated. It reminded her of how she once felt. She walked over and sat next to him. "What's troubling you?" she asked kindly. The boy sighed. "I just can't keep up with everyone else. I feel like I'm always falling behind." Maya smiled and shared the wisdom her grandmother had taught her. You don't need to keep up with anyone else. Your journey is your own, and you don't need to compare yourself to others. Focus on your own growth, and you'll see how much you can achieve. The boy looked at her, a spark of hope in his eyes. "Do you really think so?" Maya nodded. "I know so." Years later, Maya became a successful woman, known for her resilience, confidence, and wisdom. She never stopped growing, but she no longer compared herself to anyone else. Her journey was hers alone, and that was enough. Maya became an inspiration to many, teaching them that the key to success is to stop comparing yourself to others. It's about focusing on your own growth, embracing your unique path, and trusting that every step you take brings you closer to the best version of yourself. And so, Maya continued her journey, always focused on her own growth, and always proud of the progress she had made. If Maya's story has inspired you to stop comparing yourself and start focusing on your own journey, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more empowering stories and life-changing lessons. Remember, your journey is unique, and it's time to embrace it.